This is Mario Central, here with you today, awaiting to go through this door to find out what we're gonna face. Well, it's Gorgon just sitting right there awaiting us to challenge him. And look, he's got quite a nice room going for him. I mean, look at these fancy pillars and fancy carpet. Like, holy crap, man.
Where are all my crew? You wiped them out? Every last one? Impossible. One kid took down all the shadow Pokemon we made. And wrecking my factory, you've smeared dirt all over my good name and standing. You've done it now. I'm steaming mad. And there's no forgiving that ever. Be prepared to drop.
I'm sorry. Anytime I do that voice, I just remember Rocky 3. Every single time I do that voice, I just always remember how irritating Mr.T was in that movie. He was so good. Like, honestly, he just made himself hateful in that movie. Like, you wanted to hate him. Like, at least with, like, the first one, Apollo Creed, was it? You sort of saw where he was coming from. You sort of felt bad for him. But Mr.T is just like, oh no, I hope Rocky punches him and knocks him out.
Ah, pity the fool.
Also, that voice also reminds me of what's it called? Yeah, if you guys played the recent Crash games, I know a lot of you haven't because you're just like, oh man, Crash sucks now, and I can understand that, but I still like the newer games. Crunch Bandicoot, oh my god, he has such a funny voice. Like, honestly, there's one line he says in that Crash Mind Over Mutant game that just makes me laugh every time. It's like one of the opening sequences, and Crunch Bandicoot. Yes, that is the new term. They are now called Bandicoots. Yes, it is now Crash the Bandicoots. Okay, that is the series name. There's one opening scene, right? And it was funny. Coco wasn't listening to him. Coco and Crunch. They're just like, hey, and who's gonna make us? You? And then Crash is just like, right, his normal Crash voice. And then Crunch Bandicoot is just like,
alright then, I'll just say some catchphrases. Drink lemonade, vitamin C.
Oh man, that made me laugh for a long time. It's such just a generic black man voice. That was perfect.
Drink lemonade, vitamin C.
I think that is some wise advice. You know, I've never drank lemonade in my life. I've just now realized this. I haven't. I've never drank it in my life, especially not Mike's Hard Lemonade. I've never drank it in my life. I'm curious. I should probably go make myself some lemonade after this recording is done because it can help my throat out here. Take that. Oh, almost done. I think let's just finish off Slowking right now because I want James to stay on this just for a tad bit longer. Thank you, Mr. Wallerane, sir. Or I should be calling them by the name, sorry. James and Bluebee. I always tend to do that. Even if I nickname them, I still ended up calling them by the original names. And here's the first of two Shadow Pokemon, I believe, and it is Primeape. This is another guy who I was expected to use on my team. There were 3 Pokemon that changed from this team to the one I was planning to make. I'll tell you right now, Jolteon was used in my last one, Wallerane was used in my last one, and who was the third one that was used? I believe Flygon was used in my last one. Those 3 remained, but I really wanted to try out some different Pokemon, but then after I tried those 3 out, I'm like, you know what, let's just go back to the basics, and that's where I hired Gardevoir, Athena, Shiftry, and Mr. James here. I used, other than those 3, I used Victreebel, Primeape, and one other person that we have not seen as yet, so I won't tell you until we get there. But Primeape, I tried to use. He's an interesting Pokemon. Before, you know, Mr. Ursaring decides to kill him again, I'm going to try to capture her, and that is just great. Thank you very much, Primeape, for getting in there so easily. I'm actually very surprised. Primeape is one of those fast and powerful Pokemon that I actually do not like. Primeape isn't all that powerful. I mean, I thought he was, or she, sorry, in this case. I thought she was, but she really isn't all that strong. She's got good power, but it's not enough to one-hit KO people. And when you're gonna be that fast and not take hits that well, because Primeape, oh man, one earthquake and that thing is dead. I'm surprised it didn't die right there, right? Well, it's an Ursaring, for goodness sakes, right? It doesn't have that as its STAB. But still, you know, it wasn't as powerful as I had hoped, because it really cannot take damage that well. I usually like fast and powerful Pokemon, but it has to make up for its lack of defense, it has to be really powerful. Or it can be just a little powerful and have somewhat defense, like Crow's Effect here, or even James. They have some good defenses. It's not that bad, actually. But Primeape's one of those that after using him, I realized it's really not that great of a Pokemon. I don't consider using him unless they give him a third evolution of sorts. I mean, think about it. You have a monkey, then you have an ape, then make it a gorilla. You can, so first it's a Mankey, Primeape, then make it, Morilla. Morilla, the next evolution of Primeape. Just keep the ending names, because they have it all. Monkey, right? Mankey, Primeape, right? With the ape, and then just be Gorilla, or something Illa, or something like that. That would be actually interesting if they were to make a third evolution. I think it needs one. But Hypno, on the other hand, Hypno's, again, one of those psychic Pokemon that I don't really care for. He's cool and all, but I don't know, I don't really care for him that much. He can take hits well, he's a defensive tank, but I don't know, I like Bronzong better compared to Hypno. He's much more of a better tank compared to Hypno. Hypno doesn't really dish out that much damage, and I don't know, I don't really care for Hypno. It's one of those psychic Pokemon that is just like, it's good enough to be, it's a psychic Pokemon, it's going to be good, but it's not as good as the other psychic types. Like, I mean, one thing I'll tell you right now, psychic types and dragon types are always going to be good, but there are going to be Pokemon that are just not as great as others, kind of like Hypno here. I just don't really like him compared to other psychic types. Not to say he's not usable, I just don't like him compared to other ones. Luga! He's clearly upset and happy at the same time. I don't know.
Luga, that's it. You're not getting away with this. No way, no how, no ifs or buts. I'm not taking this. I'll blow up the factory with you in it. Go!
Whoa, that's some pretty drastic stuff. Oh! Gorgon, that is quite enough, except that you have lost.
Master Gribble!
Oh, we meet again. You do remember me, don't you? Yes, indeed, I am Mr. Verich, or perhaps I should say Gribble, the Grand Master of Cipher. I must say I'm taken aback. I never once imagined that you would destroy our factory. But that's not important. Even though the mass output of Shadow Pokemon has ended, our plan itself is unharmed. We have already completed XD001's final tuning. It now rests with me.
XD001? The ultimate Shadow Pokemon that's resistant to purification.
Now I shall prepare a final plan to activate XD001. Do you honestly think you can stop me? I shall be at Cipher's headquarters. It's on Citydark Isle off the coast of Gaetion Port. It is an impregnable fortress that repels all with cruel waves and thick clouds. No one can reach it. Come if you dare. I'll enjoy waiting for you. Oh, it's on now, Mr. Verich.
Yeah, Master Gribble has such a wicked sense of humor. No ordinary ship can get close because of the rough seas, and even if you do manage to get on the island, the place will be swarming with trainers carrying the Shadow Pokemon I made, even though there should be a lot more Shadow Pokemon.
Yes.
If XD001 didn't drop that ship in the desert, we wouldn't have taken so long tuning the Shadow Pokemon. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. There's plenty of Shadow Pokemon to welcome you in style. How many are there? If I tell you that, it'd floor you. It'd just be a matter of time before the world belongs to us. You'd better be ready for it.
Okay. One thing I'll just say after going through all of that, and he stupidly left an entire list of Shadow Pokemon, which we find out contains about 82 Shadow Pokemon in all. Sorry, 83. So, actually, if you want to avoid spoilers right here, I think I'm just going to show you the list real quick. I'm not gonna like point out any Pokemon. I'm just gonna go through it. As you can see, it shows all of the Shadow Pokemon that you are about to get. So just study this if you want. It's one of those, you know, if you want to see it, you don't have to. You could just shield your eyes and be like, I don't see it, I don't see what you're talking about. But after that scene, I'll tell you one thing. That's pretty drastic of Gorgon. He wanted to blow up the entire island with me on it. He wanted me dead. How often are you going to have that in a Pokemon game? Honestly, it's pretty drastic. I mean, that's one thing that always surprised me when he said that. I'm like, are you kidding me? He was willing to kill himself. He wasn't going to get off the island. There was no way. He had to run out of it just like I was. Oh, man, that guy was going to take some drastic action there. And in fact, that would have been the right plan of action, because that would have put a stop to me right then and there. But of course, you know, the higher-up is too cocky to admit his failures, because he is going to be defeated. By my hands, you have given me a second chance to live, and now I shall be the one that uses that hand and takes over everything. Give it back! Bring it back! Those two weird guys took off with the shadow Pokemon. One had like a mohawk and the other had red hair like a ball. Darn it! They made off with the last shadow Pokemon that came off the production line before it shut down. Who is it? Who is it? Man, you should be telling me all this. The abducted shadow Pokemon was a Dragonite that ended up being the last shadow Pokemon to be made at this factory. That means that Dragonite is the last authentic shadow Pokemon. Didn't I tell you Mira B would play some role? Oh, buddy! He has the last shadow Pokemon, which is Dragonite. Again, if you didn't want to hear that, you could just turn off this recording right here, or pause this video right here, and just take a moment to be like, alright, I'm just gonna wipe out my memory. Don't worry, I'll give you some time right now. Actually, here's 20 seconds. Oh, the little Spanish flea. Wait, was that 20 seconds long enough for you? Okay. And we're back with the current video in progress. Thank you all for joining us through those technical difficulties where I tried out my little Spanish flea interpretation of the song, doing my own instruments and all. Thank you very much. I am very talented. I accept full responsibility of being this talented. I'm sorry, I'm just so good. But anyway, guys, we are going to have to go to the final area of the game. And guess what? We have to go to Gateon Ports in order to do so. Yo, Nick, big news, real big news. That robot Kyogre we've been telling you about is finally done. Once Grandpa got down to it and got serious with it, he put together something kind of amazing. Come over here, guy. You have to listen to my grandpa. I like how he doesn't bring me over. He's just like, you can listen if you want to. You don't really have to. But of course I have to, because I have to progress the story. Like Per said, we're finally assembled the Robo Kyogre. It's truly a work of marvel. What's wrong? Is anything the matter? Well, I'll be. Cypher's headquarters is on City Dark Isle, and you intend to go there. City Dark Isle, huh? Well, it's on a place like that. It's no wonder nobody's found Cypher's base. The currents around the isle are swift, and the weather is always storming. The place can't be approached by sea or by air. Per, that was certainly true before, but now, however... I get it, Grandpa. The Robo Kyogre, right? We get to ride a Robo Kyogre? Precisely, Per. Our Robo Kyogre will get you to the isle. Alright, we must prepare to launch the Robo Kyogre for Nick. Come, Per. Yes, sir! Oh, yeah, we get to ride a Robo Pokemon. Now, that is awesome. Even though Robo Groudon didn't work out, that's still pretty cool. Hi, Nick. Sounds like the battle against Cypher is entering a critical stage. There's something I would like you to have. Please come see me on the ground floor. Wait a second. There's another floor? What are you talking about, Mr. Crane? Ah, here you are, over this way. Look toward the pier. I'm looking, I see it, and I want to go. That is the Robo Kyogre. Doesn't its blue form thrill you? Yes, it does. It's all ready to go. You can leave whenever you're ready. It was just so well suited for the sea. It's blue. That is pretty cool. I mean, how many people can say they've actually ridden a submarine before? I've always wanted to do that. Go and take control of like a submarine and just go underwater and explore. That would be awesome. I would love to do that one day. It's always been one of those secret fantasies of mine. Just take a submarine and let's go. Let's explore. Oh, man. Oh, there's Professor Crane waiting ever so patiently like the gentleman he is. Hi, Nick. I'm glad to see you back. There's something I want to give you, Nick. Could you come down here, please? He continues to be a gentleman to this day amidst all this problems. Like, seriously. Even when he was being captured, he had his hands behind his back the entire time, like a true gentleman. The definition of gentleman is Professor Crane himself. There is no one greater. Like, look at, even walks like a gentleman. Nick, over this way, please come with me, please. Oh, you don't have to be that friendly, Professor. Geez, please use twice in a sentence, my goodness. The battle against Cypher appears to have entered a decisive phase. I think the situation calls for a special solution. Nick, there's something here that I'd like you to use. Go on, open the box and take what's inside. What are you giving me? Oh, Master Ball! Oh my! That's a Master Ball. It's the one Pokeball that is foolproof. It has a 100% capture ratio. You should only use it if you're sure that is the right thing to do. Keep at it. Oh, what a gentleman. That is why I had to give the man somewhat of a British accent. Even though when I tend to do these videos, the British accent ends up sounding like me just talking normally. I can do one. Anytime I do these videos, I always just sound like I'm ending the same. Oh my god. I just have so much fun doing these videos. I never really do the voices quite well. But here we go. Now that we've gotten that, we can actually go to Gation Port now. We've gotten the Master Ball. But before I do that, we have one more location we can go to before we actually take on the final area. The new Robo-Groudon is supreme. They're all done. Send. The Robo-Groudon of yours is no more. Chobin has modified it and upgraded it. Therefore, a rematch with Nick is very much desired. Chobin will not lose again. The new Robo-Groudon is supreme. Oh, well, if you say so, Chobin, I'm down. Let's do it. Huh? Oh, it's you, Nick. Since when were you there? Well, how about that? Chobin didn't need to send an email, but that's fine. Chobin has successfully upgraded the Robo-Groudon. What modification has been made is a secret, though. Let's begin. Alright, Chobin, you've gotten me interested. Let's do it! Robo-Groudon fight number 2! Aha! He's improved a tad bit, not a lot, since the last time we faced him. I think he'll be around 35, 36, which is not bad, but right now my Pokemon are 41, so he's pretty much destroyed. But this is pretty unknown. I think the first time I played this game, I didn't know you could rebattle Chobin until after I'd finished the game, which is wrong. You should do it as soon as you finish that area, the Shadow Factory right there, because then you get some couple of good battle CDs, which you would think, well, okay, it's just battle CDs, who cares? But it is actually important. You get some very useful TMs from there. In fact, it's the TM Sunny Day and Rain Dance I'm going to have to get from them. And I'm not going to show you those battle CDs. Again, I'll show you these in a bonus video. Don't worry, they will come. There will come a time when I do all of them. But they are instrumental in getting those, and I need to do this now in order to get them, because I need Sunny Day now. Like, I can't keep using Shift Tree and Solar Beam if I don't have Sunny Day. It doesn't make sense, especially with him needing that speed boost. Like, later on, that's going to be very helpful. Now that is just perfect right there. That sucks, though. The one moment he got to a chance, the one Pokemon I wasn't going to do a super effective move to, and he ends up being frozen. Sorry to say, man, it wasn't your time, Gyarados. It wasn't your time. You probably wanted to one-hit KO Arcanine, but that wasn't going to happen because he has bad special attack. Aha! And there's Tropius. So, pretty much, this is going to be a landslide victory. As I said, not too much of a more challenging fight, but he is 10 levels up compared to what he was last time. So it is a definite fight if you want some experience, and definitely to get Sunny Day and Rain Dance at the same time. It's so easy to miss because that email doesn't even send until you get there. So you may not even ever know about it if you never go back there, which is a possibility. You never really have to come back here once you're done with that section of the story. No, that's a lie, actually. Now that I think about it, there is one point where you have to come back, but it's not for a really long time, and that's basically when your Pokemon are going to be so overpowered. Why, thank you very much, Chobin, for the fight. You have upgraded both of my Pokemon. Thanks a lot. What do you have to say for yourself? Chobin lost after all. Oops, Chobin said it again. And he said he was never going to lose again. So strange. Chobin had upgraded the driver's seat with a reclining back. Was that not enough? Not enough to snatch victory? Chobin is in utter shock. You know what, Chobin? I'll give you credit. If you can upgrade your Pokemon 10 levels just by adding a recliner seat, I would be scared to imagine if you actually went full comfort. Like, if you gave it, like, cushy pads and, like, comfortable padding for your feet, I'd be scared to know how much levels your Pokemon would actually go up by. Like, seriously, I am actually afraid. Imagine if you actually decided to train the Pokemon. Oh my goodness. I mean, obviously he is, but it's just funny how he thought that that's the thing that would make him be more powerful is, oops, let's make a recliner seat. That would definitely give me the edge over Nick. I have extreme comfort. Well, that's not the full extreme comfort. You have to do more than that, my friend. You have to put cushions, padding, and the works. And then your Pokemon will grow by like 20 levels. Then you should face me again. Trust me, Chobin does get a lot more better later on in the game, so he's not going to be a complete waste. But now, we can stop making these guys wait so long and finally enter the Robot Kyogre to our final destination. Here it is, folks. The last area of Pokemon XD. Join me next time. This is Mario Central, signing off.